in Vivo, you are Suzanne, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, welcome. This is NetWhere, and it's an event, a role-playing game that's being run as part of the Gauntlet Community Open Gaming event. My name is David Misa Kubnik, and I will be the GM for this game. And the reason that we have these other wonderful players sort of blacked out is because we have a weak internet connection. It's not that they're afraid of anyone coming after them, especially the agents of truth. Uh, it is simply because our bandwidth is on shaky grounds right now. So basically, I want to go over a few things here before we get started. We're going to be playing a very short session today due to scheduling issues and other things. We're going to give you a preview of NetWare. It's a game that I'm playtesting based off of a game Megway Baker created called Cyrun. And so this is a more focused, dedicated sort of genre version of Cyrun, which could be any kind of game with amnesiacs with powers. This is a game that's more suited to something like playing a game in the universe of the Matrix, Inception, Tron, Adjustment Bureau, Dark City. So games that deal with alternate or parallel realities. That's what the focus of the game. It has a little bit extra mechanical nature to it with tokens and so forth, but it's actually pretty close still to just a reskin mostly of the game of Cyrun. So let me go over some of the things regarding the Gauntlet, and then we will get started, and I will introduce you to our amazing players and their characters. So the Gauntlet is a gaming community and podcast network that focuses on indie RPGs, story games, and the OSR. To learn more about it, you can check that out at gauntlet-rpg.com. And this is the Gauntlet Community Open Gaming. It's a free and open event this weekend, like an online convention, where we want to invite new people into the community and let them get a test run of what it's like to be with us. I myself have met a lot of great new people, got to play with them, really enjoying it. But normally what the Gauntlet has is these things called Gauntlet Hangouts, which is on the calendar that have many, many games every month for you to play. To get involved with that, definitely go to the website. There's a monthly Patreon fee to help maintain all of the wonderful volunteering, providing hosting space, all of these things that go into the work that makes the Gauntlet. And lastly, there's something that this community uses called safety tools. And these are here to help us enjoy the game more, to modify things for content that might be challenging for us or disruptive. And so we just basically set some tone, we set some boundaries, and we do that because we care about each other. We're here to have fun, get to know each other, and it's our story. So some of these tools include the X card, open door policy, content warnings, tone conversation, lines and veils. There are many others out there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to discuss if there's anything that we do or don't want to see explicitly or otherwise. And then during the game, if there's an issue, we can use one of these tools, such as the X card, where someone in the game can let me know that there's something that's challenging. Could be like a fear of spiders that I didn't know about, or any number of things. But ahead of time, we're going to discuss this as sort of like our tone palette and figure out what can we just avoid from the get-go. So my name is David, and we have Weibo, Manu, and Nick here. And I would like them to introduce themselves, their characters briefly, and then we'll touch base on lines and veils and other issues in the game. So why don't we start with Weibo?
Mm, yeah, hi guys. I'm Leo. I'm a player from Germany. This is my first time on Gauntlet also, during to this a festival I found out on Facebook, and I will play a character called Susanne Schröder. And she's a 30-year-old woman. She is blonde, her hair is until her shoulders, she has green eyes, and she has a lot of tattoos. And she works in the club as a bartender and a doorwoman.
Awesome. Manu?
Okay. Hello. My name is Manu. I'm from Colombia, and this is also my first time playing with you guys. Well, the name of my character is Elia. I prefer to give it no last name because he's like kind of mysterious. He's a 40-year-old man. He has long hair and a white beard. That is like the main the main type of this character. He's a really religious guy, so he's asking like for the truth in this world, like if there's a god, of not what kind of god, what is his role in this world, and that is like his focus.
Awesome. And lastly, Nick.
Yeah, I just have Zeno Buche, and he looks like what the description says, just tall, white suit, long black hair, but he also wears a black mask, like a masquerade ball type of mask, a very simple one.
Wow, mysterious. Cool. Well, good. And I know that Weibo and Manu know each other. I know Nick. Nick is in the geographical area, and I've gamed with him for a bit. So, but I think the three of you are new. You just said to Gauntlet. Is that true for you as well, Nick?
Yep.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for being here. Really appreciate this. So let's return to the safety tools. Is there any content that we should just get out there and say, please, none of this, or go to Veil off screen or anything like that? Is there anything that we should be aware of as a group?
No, I don't have any problem with anything. Maybe a safe word will be okay.
Okay. Yeah. So like what I typically say is no like intense graphic violence or sexual stuff. And obviously if you're playing a more family friendly game, maybe even like tone that down a lot more too. So like for the sake of what I think anyways, at the tone of them, if we're looking at something like say the Matrix movie, the first Matrix movie,
Okay.
we're making awesome characters, and we're contrasting that to maybe kind of a dull or bleak life, but like no one's being, at least not in the net world, no one is under torture or anything like that, right?
Okay.
Does that work for everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and if anything comes up during play, just say the word and we'll adjust things. All right, awesome. Well, great. So again, we're playing this game called NetWhere, and we are going to be taking place, think of this as like a movie, in the modern world, a fictional version of our modern world. And so that means we can play internationally. We're not restricted to a budget per se, but ultimately these characters will know each other in this world in some way. And so one of the things in the game is relationships. And so let's kind of look at that and see if we can define how these characters know each other. So what I think might work best is to say, because we have a small group, is to have a relationship, even if it's not a strong one, with every character. So the categories that we have here are coworkers, family, friends, lovers, rivals, and shady, which is like criminal, right?
Okay.
And so let's go ahead and discuss like how Suzanne and Elia and Zeno know each other. It could just be a one-to-one relationship, or it could be, maybe they're all family, or maybe they're all whatever, right? So go ahead and discuss what you're thinking here.
Okay. So I already put that Susanna as my girlfriend.
All right. She has not put you down as
I don't
her
know.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
I did. I just saw it. I did.
Yeah. That
It's a
breaks my
relationship.
heart, Susanna. So are you denying me?
I told you casual.
Yeah. So it's just like yeah, you can specify that in your relationship status too. Like maybe it's more one-sided. Like
Yeah.
I love this person. The other one's like, yeah, they're a friend with benefit or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever
Yes.
works. Yeah. I
Yeah.
see this as like a PG-13 sort of story, more than an R-rated, but for the sake of the viewers at home.
Okay.
But so,
and
Manu, do you want me to put your character as a boyfriend or like as a friend with benefits?
Well, that's interesting. Well, what about if you put me as your boyfriend, but you don't tell me right now if you really want to be my girlfriend? Like if you're having like a problem deciding that.
Okay, so I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I'm your girlfriend, but I don't know. But
Okay.
maybe I'm just like intuiting that, but I'm not pretty sure that you are in this position, that
There we
position.
go. Maybe that's a great
Okay,
word.
okay, perfect.
Yeah. And what about you, Sino?
Nick?
Sorry, what was it?
So we're down in the relationship section, the hacker relationships on the character keeper. And so we're just establishing how we know each other. So Suzanne and Elia have a lover relationship, but how do you know either of them?
Looking over their characters.
Maybe you come to my club? Maybe you're like a guest there or something like that?
I was thinking probably kind of a coworker situation. I don't work there, but
What
I
Sino does for a living?
yeah, I was saying that he is a repairman, so he might come by the bar to repair different things that are not working.
Yeah,
like in the bathroom, or like what kind of stuff does he repair?
Bathroom or anything really, just general.
So
fix it person.
Yeah. So
Okay.
does he work on like sound systems or like, hey, we need a new door hung on the bathroom, or like, what are you thinking here? Is he just kind of like catch a jack of all trades fixer?
Yep.
Okay.
Very general, not specifically trained in any one area. He just
general contractor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
He's just your standard contractor that comes with a white suit and a black mask to repair your toilet.
Well, everyone's got to have their company brand.
Yes, of course.
Sure.
Awesome.
And I don't know, Sino. What about if we met on the bar or something and we become friends, or maybe you have like this crush on Suzanne and you want to be her boyfriend, and we are more like rivals. I don't know. What do you think?
Friends, I assume we just probably met.
Sure. So we are friends. Hello.
And just to be clear, like you could have more than one sort of relationship with another character. They could be a rival and a friend.
Okay.
Yeah, but for right now, just picking one is totally fine. Yeah. Because there are like workplace romances, there are like workplace rivalries and so forth.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Has everyone got that figured out?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Great. So down below that is the revelations area. And so how this game functions in terms of like knowing when you're completing it and then finished with the game is typically when one player character has answered 3 of their questions first, then the game goes into like an end state. And the end state is called Crossroads in Cyrun. It's called Intersect in this game, in NetWhere. But basically, you define before you start playing 3 questions that you want to learn about the world and your character in it in this game. So when you're thinking about source material like the Matrix, there might be like a question like who made the net world? Like who's the architect in that world? Could be a question. Or if you want to be more personal about it, like why am I here? Right? It could be fairly general, could be fairly specific. You could come up with who is Lenny? And we don't have any idea who this character is. But the point is that when you roll your dice on the risk sheet and you can assign your dice to the different categories, you can choose to answer that question yourself, have the other players answer it for you, and then Lenny gets defined.
Okay.
So depending on the questions you have and when they get answered, those things will come up at that point.
Do we Do these questions right now?
Yep. So what we're going to do is just do three questions, and then depending on time, we might have to end a little bit earlier if we don't get 3 questions from any specific player done first. But so we'll just put them in there, and then we'll just see how that goes.
Okay. So my character is a religious character, so it's definitely the first question is gonna be if there's a god in this world.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I want to be so deep philosophical in the other question. So maybe something more mundane.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and it can be something about your relationship, like with another character. They're fairly wide open. Why does my cat sit exactly in so think about questions that you think would be interesting to be asked in like a movie or show like this, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about this scene where you like see something that's exactly the same every day.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's just exactly the same all the time. So
what the heck is up with that?
Yeah. Why does my cat do that? That's so weird. Like,
I actually was thinking that my Chihuahua could be a bug in the world, because she's so annoying that it perfectly could be a bug.
And so I see that Suzanne has "Do I love Elia?" Right? That's a good question too.
That's a good question.
And love could mean many different things. So if we get to that question and the answer, then we'll figure that out.
But it can be really anything.
It can be, yeah. So like the tone of the game will sometimes, like if you continue playing past the first session, you can create new questions to have the next session. So like the first one is often very much like, well, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to put this in here, right? So if I see anything that looks like terribly problematic, then I will let you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So try.
What about this one?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that connects you. That connects you. So that's kind of 2 questions, right?
Yeah.
You're asking, like, I think, why don't you just put the first one in there? Why does he have this mask, right? And if you have a question that relates to another character, make sure that other player is okay with that, because they might want to ask a question related to their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if Nick is okay with that.
Okay, there's an ambulance.
Oh.
Okay.
That's here. That's here.
Oh,
in Germany?
Yes, there's an ambulance in Germany.
Yeah.
There's an ambulance, there's a Chihuahua in Colombia, and Nick, what do you have in your room?
No.
So I guess Zeno, that you have like a reason for these masks, no? So I'm wondering that why do you have this mask? I mean, it's like this curious question for me.
Yeah. Are you okay with? Yeah, you're okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Last one. Okay. Do we know like anything about this world? I don't know. Maybe they're I don't know. Maybe they have like a background that you can tell us right now.
Oh, we don't know yet.
Okay.
This is very much like we kind of created on the fly. Yeah.
Okay.
So your questions, whatever questions you have there, can help drive some of that. So like, why are the agents of truth like ghosts? Or like, why is the core world, which would be like the real world, why is the core world not have water anymore? Or it's kind of like you're driving the meta fiction too.
But we don't, like, our characters don't know anything about any of that yet, right?
Right.
Because they
Yeah.
still think they live in the normal world?
Exactly. Yeah. So you as the player, if you want to drive something that your character doesn't know, like in the other world, you can do that. So it's totally up to you. Yeah. So if
Okay.
you want to focus your questions right now on the net world, totally fine. Why are Elia and Susan dating? I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, that's also a good question in real life.
Sure. So as soon as Elia has his third question, we can.
I'm thinking. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
It doesn't
Because
have. It doesn't have to be a deep philosophical question. You know, it could be like, you know, I'm trying to think. What does your character do? Because we mentioned Susan, bartender, you know, fixer. Is your character a priest?
No, he's like this, like mysterious character, you know. So you actually don't know, doesn't know, if he's working on this church or if he's just going to the church.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I don't know.
So, like, maybe
It's
something around the church, like, you know, what is the true purpose of the church, or why do I feel safe there, or, you know, totally up to you.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. No, I know it.
Okay.
So the church is not like a Christian church or a Muslim church. No, it's like a church from this world, and in this world, the church, the symbol of the church is it's a hammer. You know.
Like Thor?
Okay. Yeah, like Thor, something like that. The
See,
symbol of the church.
now I definitely see a connection with Zeno.
Is a hammer. So why? Why is the hammer? Because I don't know. That is the question.
That's perfect. Yeah, this I see the conspiracy coming together very nicely now. Does Suzanne have a hammer tattoo somewhere on her?
Yes, definitely.
And then we've got Zeno's, you know, hammer that you always see when he's walking around.
I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna do about a ta-da!
Yay! Okay. I guess we should seek out a craftsman tool sponsor for this show.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we've got everything that we need to get started. So what I'm going to be asking you, I'm going to describe some things, and then I'm going to be asking, so where is your character and what are you doing? All right. If you want to take a moment to think about that or whatever, that's fine. So do we want to have this all set in the one same city to make it convenient for our characters? And if so,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So does anyone have a preference? I mean, I don't. Anyone have a preference about where that should be? It does not need to be in LA. It can be somewhere else.
Berlin?
That works for me.
Yeah, sure.
I know nothing of Berlin, but it'll be our Berlin. Perfect.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay. So so basically, I'm going to say that it's a nice, cool sort of spring day in Berlin. You can see the buildings in the background. There's a park, right? Maybe near a lake or something. Some sculptures nearby that runners run through. And we open up and we see someone sitting on a park bench, right? And their profile is obscured by the shade of the tree overhead. You can hear the crunching of the gravel as people walk by. And this person's wearing like a dark olive green sort of overcoat. They've got a bag in one hand, and the other hand they pull out of the bag like breadcrumbs, and they toss it to the birds. And then there's this noise, this droning noise that is coming up in the background, and we have an echo. Okay, and it's this sort of rising, sort of like irritating droning noise. It seems to be coming from this person, and we see like the people moving around, and then we see the runner that we've seen kind of go around a couple times as the camera pans, and the runner's getting very tired, and the runner has to brace himself against one of the sculptures, and then it just collapses, and then we see the figure get up and leave the park. Okay, so where is Suzanne?
I'm sitting on a park bench and I'm drinking a coffee to go.
Awesome. And what does Suzanne look like? Are you dressed in a specific way that we should be aware of?
She is. No, she looks normal, like just jeans, a t-shirt, and like a jacket, like a black leather jacket.
Cool. And is she here for a particular reason that we know of?
Yeah, she just finished her work at the club, so it's maybe like 7 in the morning, and she's like taking the coffee after work, and then she will go to her home to sleep.
Awesome, great. And so you see this figure, kind of large, heavy set, walk by, and as he's walking, like you hear, like as he gets closer, the droning effect, and he closer, and he just walks by you, and for a moment you think you see his form like kind of shimmer, get pixelated, and then he just sort of moves on past you. What is Suzanne doing?
Okay. I look at him irritated and like rub my eyes and think that I'm really tired and
and like
drink more of my coffee.
Yeah, maybe the buzzing was ringing in your ears from the music at the club or something. Yeah, Who knows? Alaya, where are you and what are you doing? About 7 in the morning.
Yeah, so the first thing that Elia usually does in his day is he takes like this strong coffee and he goes to the church nearby to the park and the lake where is Suzanne, and he sits on the last bench of this church, and he likes to stay there for 1 or 2 hours, and he's always asking because when he saw people coming into the church, they usually say that they usually spend like 5 minutes or a little bit less on the church, but he likes to stay more, and he always sees this pattern on the people that is coming to the church and get as close as they can as into the hammer symbol, and they have this ritual where they put one of his hands in the heart and the other hand on the nose, and they say, "Blessed be the hammer."
I love that.
And they stay with the eyes closed. I don't know, some minutes, and when they finish their prayers or whatever they doing, they they open their eyes and they said, "Blessed be." Okay, so blessed be. So he's like, what is happening? What is happening on the minds of these people? So and why is there a hammer on this church? I mean, he's like thinking because he's a pretty religious man, but he doesn't know why a hammer and why these people have this ritual.
So are you saying that you don't understand, like you don't understand the nature of the hammer with this church community?
Exactly. He doesn't. I don't understand what is happening, but I'm pretty sure that this is a thing. Like this is a real thing, and that we all need to do the hammer, to be in the hammer church.
Sure.
But I don't know why, and I want to figure it out.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So, yeah, so I see Eli, he's like contemplating this going on. People are moving around. Zeno, where are you at around 7 a.m.? And what are you doing?
I'm just working on a project.
What kind of project?
I don't know what it is. I'm just tinkering things together, and sometimes I just start doing that, and eventually it becomes something useful or interesting. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, do you have like an appointment calendar or something like that for scheduling your jobs?
Yeah, probably just some sort of whiteboard.
Okay. So at like 8 o'clock, you're scheduled to go in to this church, Church of the Hammer, to help them with their HVAC system.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still planning to make that appointment?
Yeah, I'll put this aside for now and rush over there.
Okay. So we'll cut to about that time, to about 8 o'clock. Do you have like a company van or vehicle or something?
Oh, I have an old van, very sketchy looking.
Okay. So you drive up into this, what I think is a nice, middle class neighborhood. It's an old church, old stone and brick church. Potentially used to be, part of a Christian denomination. And you go up there and you see, like, instead of like a crucifix symbol or chalice or something like that, there's definitely a hammer. And I don't know if that causes a double take or not from you, because it's the only church you've seen like that. But the doors open, and I'll just say like a minister, for lack of a more specific term, welcomes you, and he's got, instead of like a cross, has like a hammer. Does that make sense, Manu?
Manu?
Hang on.
I'm having like this problem with my internet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he's got like a hammer necklace sort of thing. And he welcomes you in and is directing you towards, the HVAC in the basement, basically.
Okay.
And so Suzanne,
I have lag. I have
okay.
lag. I can hear you.
Okay. So Suzanne, you're like heading like away from that park bench, and you see that person just sort of like disappears from your vision, just sort of gone, just
Okay.
odd. Yep. And then
Yeah.
Manu, do you work at the church? Is that what you do? Or do you just visit it?
Well, I have some lag issues, but as my understanding, Zeno comes into the church
Yep.
with the hammer sign, and he's going on the basement, right?
Yep.
So, well, I know Zeno since a long time because he's like this handyman from the bar with my girlfriends.
Yep.
Works. So I scream at him like, Zeno, hey, what's happening? I'm trying to get his attention. I don't know if he sees me.
Yeah, I mean, if that works for Nick, totally. Yeah, you see your friend.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Hi, Eli. Would you go here?
Oh man, I'm having like issues. I cannot hear you. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. Do you attend this church?
Yeah, for sure. This have been my church since I moved to Berlin. What are you doing here? I mean, I thought that you were fixing the bathroom of Suzanne.
Oh, I fix everything. They've got an HVAC system problem. I'm gonna go downstairs and work on that.
Really? So, do you mind if I help you?
How much do you know about HVACs?
Well, not too much, but maybe I can. I don't know. I can help you with something. I will like to know the basement because that's a place on the church that I don't know.
Okay, sure.
And so, like, right about that time, like, Suzanne uh, sort of like, comes nearby the church to see Elijah. And so, like, I feel like you guys are, like, just starting to descend down the steps to the basement when Suzanne shows up.
Hey, Elia, how are you? Good morning. I just wanted to say hi before I go home.
Hey love, how are you? We were just with Sina trying to fix this HVAC system that I didn't know that the church have. That's probably because it was so hot on this place, you know. So I don't know if you want to come with us.
Oh, hey, Zeno, you work at the church too?
I work everywhere.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, sure. I didn't know that there was a basement either. Maybe it's cool. We find something interesting. So yeah, I'm definitely coming.
Cool.
Sure.
Yeah. So you guys go down to the basement together, and Zeno knows where to go and all that. And probably Elia, you've seen the HVAC. It's just not something you pay much attention to.
Okay.
And as you get down there, the corridor is echoing, and you hear this droning noise that's echoing. And Suzanne heard it from earlier in the park. Definitely, it's just sort of really strong droning noise, and you see like some rodents and bugs kind of coming your way out of the basement area, like they're coming away from something. Yeah, HVAC is your heating and air conditioning and like vent work,
Okay.
duct work, and things. Yeah, no,
In
that's
an
part
old brick church.
no, but if you're able to update your HVAC, that this is way too much stuff. You're able to save on efficiencies and money and things like that. So
Okay.
this Hammer Church is
Uh-huh.
actually has enough money to sustain themselves, and yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
So my church is like this fancy church that has an HVAC, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
HVAC and hammers.
yes.
Amazing.
It's well funded through an unknown sponsor.
Yes.
Yeah, so you hear this droning, you see like the little rodents and the bugs like scampering away from the droning noise, like they're trying to get away from it, heading towards you. It's not like a huge mass of them, you just notice this.
Uh-huh.
And there's periodic lighting down there too, but it's definitely coming from down the hall, like from where the furnace would be, the furnace in like the AC unit. It's definitely, the droning noise is really loud. So Zeno, you can understand that this HVAC needs some kind of tuning, because this shouldn't be making this noise. Definitely something's off here.
Is it supposed to be this loud?
No, not normally.
Yeah. It seems like it has like a broken piece or something, because this is not normal. I have an HVAC on my house, and this is not normal at all. It could be dangerous.
You know what's strange? I just heard the same noise out in the park. Like exactly the same noise.
All right.
Hey,
So-
that's
Yeah,
weird.
so
Guess I
what
want
are
to
you
investigate that.
doing? Are you just gonna stand there? Or
We go there. We
Zeno,
go
you're gonna go in and fix it?
Well,
Yeah.
Sina, you're the boss, so you tell us what to do. I don't want to get.
And I like
But I like
that like I can see like this sort of like relationship tension when you say like Zeno, you're the boss. Maybe that gets heightened a little bit. So yeah, so Zeno, you move forward into the dark. I'm assuming you pull out your flashlight. And what's strange when you do that is you pull out your flashlight, you turn it on, whatever. You've been in scare places before. It's relatively clean here, and your light, as it projects about a meter from you becomes like this sort of like pixelated in the darkness. Like when it hits something, this darkness, you see like squares of white light from your flashlight.
That's weird.
Well, Susan, are you watching what I'm watching? I mean, when I'm
Do you
when I'm
see
moving
it?
when I'm moving my flashlight, it's, I don't know, it's like this optical thing, but I don't know what is
Give
happening.
me that. I take the flashlight and I try it. What
Yep.
the? I just saw this, but I mean, I was at the club all night. I thought the lights messed with my eyes, but you see this too?
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Maybe we should check for
Weird.
an for an interrupter here. I mean, maybe we can
Can
make
you
some
can
more
you
lighting
take the
here.
flashlight? I want to go touch the wall. I like try to go where I see the
Yeah.
pixels and I try
Yeah.
to touch them.
Yeah. So you step forward, and as your hand gets near, it gets pixelated, like your tattoos and everything gets pixelated.
Holy sh!
Like it's
What?
being turned into like a video game animation or something like that.
Like I look
What
at my
the
hand
fuck?
being pixelated and like, what the fuck? I think someone put something in my drink tonight. And I just step back and be like back against the wall and like, what the fuck was that?
So you take a step back, and for just a couple extra moments, your hand remains pixelated, and then it returns back to normal.
Did you see that?
This could not be possible. I mean, we maybe need to call, I don't know, maybe the priest of this church. I don't know, Zeno, but this is not normal. This could be really dangerous, man.
Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna still try to fix the HVAC.
You want to go in there? Are you insane? Do you see what happened to my hand?
Or can I like maneuver around it? Can I?
Are you going to go down the hall towards where the normal HVAC, AC, and furnace would be?
Yeah, can I just avoid the whole thing?
No, it's like the end of the corridor that's completely like you get some lighting and then it just gets dark black. So you'd actually have to go into it to get to where you need to go.
Right.
Maybe it's better if we go out, but
So then
Elia is kind of scared of this. So
then you hear a droning. Susan notices this first, a droning from behind you, from where you came down, and then slowly the lighting from like at the top of the stairs turns off, and then you hear and then you see that figure from the park, the heavy-set person with the olive green coat and the hat, and he's still holding like the bag of breadcrumbs in his left hand, and just sort of like walking step by step, and the droning is really loud from this person too. Not as loud as from the end of the corridor, but like this person's making a very similar sound. And as he's getting closer to you, the lights are going out, and so you basically have this other thing approaching you and potentially trapping you in this corridor. What are you going to do?
wow.
Holy shit! What
So-
is that? Hey, who are you? Hey, what? Stop!
It does. It like stops and sort of tilts up its head, and you see he's got a scarf, like for like damp weather. But you can kind of see like underneath the hat and above the scarf are like these sort of flickering, pixelated eyes, like kind of glowing yellowish in the dark, and it stops and it sort of tilts its head at an odd angle at you.
Hey, who are you?
My character is really scared, so he just takes his hammer and he starts to pray to his hammer like, blessed be the hammer, blessed be the hammer, blessed be the hammer.
And it just says in this sort of like monotone droning voice, 0, 0, 1.
Well, I'm starting to freak out, and I took like Xenos, and I'm trying to check if he has like some kind of tool so I can throw it at him.
So Xena, do you have tools available for throwing?
I'm not gonna give him any tools.
No, these are my tools. I will say that there's like for the sake of the fun, there's some stuff in the hallway. Like it's not like trash, but there's like probably like a piece of pipe or like this or that sort of stored temporarily down here, like a
Yeah.
box and stuff. So yeah, if there's something that small that you want to grab and toss at this stranger, you can do that.
Yeah, so I'm so scared that I'm not thinking too much. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, blessed be the hammer, blessed be the hammer, blessed be the hammer. And with my eyes closed, I took this pipe and I throw it as hard as I can to this
Okay.
bomb. I don't know what
I love it.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just
Yeah.
scared.
So we're gonna go to the roll for your party. You're gonna make the first roll off the risk sheet, and
Yeah.
so we're just gonna walk through this. Yep. Let me move that.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So basically, it's just it's fairly simple procedure. You just go down the list. You say, what is your goal? What do you hope to achieve? So what is your character want to do?
My character wants to hit as hard as he can. This figure person doesn't know
Sure.
what it's.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to strike the person with the pipe. That's simple.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, we've got some options here. So the goal is a required, the reveal is a required. So you might get an answer to a question here on your sheet. The chase, the agents of truth might move up there, right? And so I don't think that you're using your net effects right now, and you're not risking harm right now. So what we're going to do is you're going to roll 4 dice, 1 because you're exceptional, and then 1 for the goal, 1 for the reveal, and 1 for the chase. So all you need to do is to double click on 4 of those d6, and then you're going to place them in those sort of circuit boxes by goal, reveal, and chase. So if you're rolling 4 dice, you have 1 extra that you don't have to place somewhere.
Okay, so I have my 4 dice, and now I need to move it to the goal thing, to the reveal, and to the net effects. No.
Yeah, they should be on top of those areas. So you're choosing which number that corresponds with an option on that.
Okay. So definitely I want to hit this guy.
and
I took a 6. So I'm gonna put the 6 goal.
Okay.
And I have 2 trees.
Yep.
I'm gonna put reveal a tree on the reveal thing, and another tree on the what?
On the chase.
On the chase.
Yeah.
Let me check.
So
okay.
It's over to the left. Yep.
And
perfect.
I have a 1.
Yeah. So yeah, unless you get impaired, like harmed and impaired, you don't have you usually have 1 die extra. So once you start getting hurt, that's when your dice options begin to diminish. Okay. So on our keeper tab in the spreadsheet, at the bottom of the spreadsheet, there is one called sitemap. Okay. And if you click on that, that is basically taking the place of like index cards, like in a normal story game when you write things out on them and put them on the table. So what we have here is the first.
I'm sorry. Where I get it?
So if you go to the spreadsheet, and then if you look at the tabs on the bottom where it says sitemap.
Yeah. Okay.
Click on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we have here on this page is the green is like the starting sort of interaction with the other world, the crash, right? And then the column on the left is the net world. That's where you currently are in a way, right? Okay. And then the column on the right is the core world. So if you cross over to the world on the other side of this crash, you will take the right column, right? So I'm just letting you know that you're kind of in the middle in the green right now. Okay. But depending on how things go, you might stay here or go through and cross over. So for right now, you throw the pipe, you hit the guy, and it passes through him. He like sort of looks uncomfortable, and it sort of pixelates. And he sort of grunts in that monotone voice.
Wow.
But the pipe like disappears because behind him is a blackness similar to what's facing you. Like the space that you have here is diminishing. So either behind him or behind you is this sort of pixelated darkness.
Okay.
Okay, so when I see that the pipe passes through him,
Mhm.
I panic and I just turn and I just start running. Like I
Which-
run right into the other part of the floor, but just because I'm scared and I'm not thinking about
Sure.
that I
Yeah.
pixelated before.
Yeah. So you run into the darkness behind you,
Mm-hmm.
away from him, and the other two characters just see you pixelate completely and then disappear in darkness, like you've just disintegrated.
Wow.
So Zeno and Manu, what are you doing?
Well, as I'm so freaked out that I hit myself with the pipe when I was throwing at it to this guy, and I'm like in the ground, like I don't know, like say, "Ow, my arm!" And then I see that Suzanne, my girlfriend, is vanished into the nothing. So I
Yeah.
scream like, "Why, Suzanne? No!" And I'm trying to get my shit together, but I'm so scared that I'm just asking like for help to Sino, like Sino, do something. I don't know what's happening. What? And I'm so freaked out because of this guy and because of Susan just disappears. So I'm starting like to lose sense of reality. You know?
Yeah. So Zeno, what are you gonna do?
I mean,
I'm having a panic attack, Sino. You know?
How are you
I'm gonna
fix
try to
this?
walk past the guy.
Oh, okay. So so you're like moving, you just sort of walk past the hallways. If he was standing not in the middle of the hallway, it would be very easy to walk past him. And what he does is he reaches out his arm closest to you to put it on you. Are you gonna let him touch you, or are you gonna like what is your reaction to this?
I just back away.
Okay, yeah. So you avoid. He's not moving very fast, but he definitely was going to try to grab you. Okay, so he's still sort of stepping forward, bringing the darkness behind him, closing in on you. So what's going on here? What are you guys going to do? Are you just going to wait for the darkness to completely collapse around you, or are you going to try and do something else?
Well, as I'm so freaked out,
Mhm.
I don't think I can do much. But the only thing that I can think in right now is on the hammer. You know, because Elijah is so religious
Mhm.
that he start to pray again, and he took his hammer of his neck and he throws at this figure, and he starts screaming, "Blessed be the hammer! Blessed be the hammer! Blessed be the hammer!" Like if he thinks that the hammer is some kind of magical weapon
Sure,
that is gonna
sure.
destroy this thing. Yes. Blessed
So
be the hammer!
I love that. So in this game, the player never rolls twice in a row unless it's like a single player game, which not usually a thing. So whatever happens here, we'll have Nick roll for it. But I wanted to see what Nick's going to do when he sees this happening.
I'm gonna walk through the walk to the other end of the hallway.
Okay, so you're going to walk into the black.
I'm gonna peek in.
Okay, so you peek in and your face gets digital. Okay, so this is where we get Nick and Suzanne to take sort of first narration of what's on the other side, right? So this wall creates a sort of pixelation effect, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that the core world on the other side is all pixelated. It just could be the barrier between worlds. So Nick and Suzanne, what do you think you see? What does the core world look like to us as the audience watching this?
I'm in a basement. It's like just a room made out of gray beton, like the stuff that basements are made out. and it's completely empty and kind of big and has a door on the other side, and I just kind of fall into this room. But there are no windows, no furniture, nothing, just like a really gray, boxy room with a door on the other side.
So does it look significantly different or the same like size as where you were in, or does it look like a completely different space or like just a different version of that space?
Oh no, it's a different space. It doesn't look like the basement of the church.
Cool. Okay.
It looks more like I don't know, maybe a basement in an industrial building or something like that.
Yeah, like a warehouse or office or something. Yeah.
Yeah, something
Cool.
like that.
Yeah. So yeah, you Zeno looks through and you see Susan recovering from being in a different space.
Okay.
Nothing's threatening in here yet.
All right. Is there an HVAC system?
You don't see one on the other side in here. Like it doesn't continue on into this space.
All right. I'll probably pull my head back out and grab Elia and start dragging him through.
Okay, so what I think would be interesting, since you are experiencing this sort of portal back and forth and taking it into like, yeah, this is another day on the job, and he was blessing and throwing. You said Elia, you threw your hammer crucifix at the guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we're going to have Zeno make the next roll on the risk sheet to see if anything interesting happens.
Okay. So how does this work?
Yeah. So you're going to have one because you're exceptional, and then your goal is to grab Eli and escape into this other space. The reveal and chase are always on the table as well. So 4d6, you can either double tap a pre-existing die or you can add to it.
So roll 4d6. Yeah?
Yep. And then you just assign them to those three categories: goal, reveal, and chase.
Let's see. It's very hard to deselect things.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know either.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that good?
I can't see that you've made any changes. So what did you do next? What did you put where?
Yeah, so goal has 4, reveal has 5, and chase has a 4 and a 1.
Okay, you just put one of those die on the chase. Yep.
Can you not double up dice?
That is correct. You do not double up dice.
Yeah, it's a 4 then.
Okay. All right. So you said, was that what did you put in reveal again?
5.
Okay, so you have a revelation, and you had a 4 on your goal?
Yes.
Okay, so I gain 1 bite there. So I have 2 bites now. All right. So, just as a reminder, the hackers, right? So Nick's character and Manu's character, you both have 1 additional bite, which allows you to manipulate some things in the game. And I have 2 bites now. So basically, let's look at, you have a revelation and others have first play. So which question would you like the other players to have first say on your character sheet?
My revelation questions, which
On your actual revelations, you have those 3 questions. Is someone watching? Yeah. So which one of those would you like the other 2 players to have first say on answering?
Oh, okay. Is someone watching me? The first one.
Okay. So what do the other 2 players have as an answer for that?
I would say that the Church of the Hammer has always been watching him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is their chosen one.
Does that work for you, Manny?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not necessarily the church, but the god of the hammer.
The god of the hammer? Okay.
Yeah.
So there's definitely this sort of religious thing going on here. Nick, do either of those work for you?
I didn't quite catch what he was saying.
Yeah. So does the god of the hammer, or does the church of the hammer, or both of them, are you okay with them watching you?
The first one, I'm okay with the church watching me.
Okay. Yeah, so they believe that you are the chosen one. Perfect. So that's your answer. So given our time, we might stop at 2 revelations instead of 3. But we've got 1 revelation answered for Zeno. Perfect. Okay. So you grab him, you pull him through, and that black wall just disappears after you pull him through, like it was a temporary gate. And you're now in this basement of this industrial area. Suzanne, is it cold or warm in here? What's
It's
the
cold.
kind of cold? Yeah, it's cold in here. And there's that other door in the entrance. So
and it doesn't smell like anything. Like there's no smell at all.
There's no smell? Wow. Okay. Perfect. So
So I want to go through the other door.
Yeah.
And as I step through, I see exactly the same room. But like the mirror, like I step through the door and I'm just entering the room again.
So are you back in the same room or you're in a new room?
I don't know. I'm either in the room that looks exactly the same or I'm back in the same room. But there's no other door. Like I get into a room that is like closed and only has the door that's behind me.
Okay. So let's say that there's a second room that you move into. Similar room with one door between them. Okay. I'm going to ask Nick, what sort of design or carving or something do we see on the walls in either room?
The hammer again, but there's a another symbol with it.
And what symbol is that?
Like a disc. Like
a sickle.
A disc?
The Church of the Hammer was where the communists all along.
You're the chosen communist savior.
The people's hero.
Oh no, this movie's all about socialist communism and other bad things in the world.
So we're in East Germany now. Okay.
Yeah. You went from west to east. Yes.
Okay.
I do not. Yeah. This is a game, people. Okay, cool. So yeah, you're in this strange sort of like 2-room with a middle door and symbols on the wall, and it's cold. And I'm going to say that there is. Let's see here. There is a light source that's like kind of in the ceiling, and it's like this orangish yellow sort of like, think of like a almost like a miniature sun, right? If you stare at it too long, it really hurts your eyes. And it's just sort of glowing. So in the middle of the ceiling in each room has one of these.
Okay.
Okay.
I move up close and put my hand near because I want to know if it's warm.
So as you get closer to it, it gets colder. It gets really
Okay.
cold. Are you still going to try to touch it?
No.
Okay. And you feel for a moment like something about it is like watching you.
Okay.
So I'm right now. I'm on the floor and
Mhm.
I'm just like tranquilize myself because I lost my hammer,
Oh,
and I'm like, damn, I lost my hammer. I mean, that's like my whole identity. But I'm seeing these carving things with the
Mhm.
sickle, and I'm like,
Yeah.
there's a hammer and a sickle. Okay, I didn't know about it. So I'm trying to examine these carvings, and I passed where Suzanne is,
Yeah.
and I'm asking her, uh, do you know what's happening? Where are we right now? I mean, are you
Yeah.
are you okay? Are you okay, my love?
I kind of snap out of a trance because I honestly had forgotten about him. And I like come back. No, because everything was so strange. And I just like come back to reality and remember that there's other people with me in the
So-
room. And that one of them is my boyfriend. Like, oh my god, Elijah, how are you? Are you okay?
So,
what happened with
I-
this guy?
I'd like to interrupt before you get back to him to have you make a roll too and see if that affects the environment. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So either create or double click on pre-existing 4 dice so that they will re-roll themselves, and then assign 3 of them to goal, reveal, and chase.
Okay. I didn't understand the goal reveal and chase. Like, what does it do?
Yep. So depending on the number of the die that you put there, that's the option you get from those categories. And my screen is not updating very well, so you'll have to tell me what dice you put on goal, reveal, and chase.
Okay. Okay, so I have 4 in goal, 6 in reveal, and 4 in chase.
Okay. All right. So your character gets a bite. So it would be like a token.
Okay.
And what was your reveal? 6? And
6, yes.
4 in chase. You get
Yes.
you get a second bite from chase, and I get another bite as well. Okay. And I get a bite from that. All right. So you get to have a revelation answered. You have first say. So you get to choose one of your questions and answer it. And then we can always like throw out suggestions for these. But if there's like a clear one that you have in mind, you have first say on that.
Okay. So I think to the situation,
Mhm.
the question "Do I love Elijah?" would be like the most appropriate.
Sure.
But I would like to answer the one about the hammer, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it's too early to do that.
Well, we're gonna have to end soon, so go for the hammer if you want to.
Yes, then
Yeah.
I say I want the question answered. Why do I keep
Okay.
dreaming about the hammer?
So, do you have an answer in mind, or would you like for the other players to come up with suggestions first?
I have no idea, so
Okay.
please do tell me something.
So, yeah. So
Why do I dream about the hammer? The hammer!
why?
Why?
So, what do the other players have as suggestions for that?
Well, as far as the game goes, I think that the Church of the Hammer is like this uh, big hacker company. I don't know, big hacker ritualish guys. So they're like putting us in this type of situations, and the hammer is like like their control system.
Mhm.
So when we dream, when we are dreaming about a hammer, it's like a bug that we have on the world that we are. So the hammer is, every time we see a hammer, it's a bug.
Okay.
So what every time you see a hammer, it's a what?
A bug on the system.
Oh, a bug in the system. Oh, okay, cool. Nick, do you have a suggestion?
Yeah, it means you need to smash capitalism and no, yeah, I don't really have more. I don't really have a better one.
Yeah, and do you have one for Suzanne?
Yeah, I didn't really have a better one than what you already gave.
Yeah, and then Weibo, do you have one for your character, or do you like any of those?
I don't really get how a dream could be a bug.
Sure.
So is it like I was supposed to be dreaming, but the system was not working, so I just
you know it. So sometimes when we are dreaming, we think that the dream is the reality, you know, and when you dream about a hammer, it's like you're getting closer to the reality.
Also, yeah, I'm actually dreaming about reality because we are in this.
So I think if I understand it correctly, like the hammer is the symbol for like the realness that doesn't exist in your net world.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like if you can like every time you like interact with the hammer, it's like a symbol for something that's more real. Is that what I think?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah. Does that work for you?
Yes.
Okay. You can modify that too, but whatever answer it is, go ahead and type that into your answer 1 space. And then you come out of your trance, like with this revelation, and you see Elia there. And then you also see that the designs of the hammer on the wall are glowing in like this sort of like similar goldish colors, that sort of like central light in each room. And the sickle disc shape is sort of in this weird purplish color.
The symbols are glowing.
Yep, on the walls.
Okay.
You see that now.
All right.
And
the symbols are glowing.
Yeah. And in fact, anytime you're going to see a hammer, it will have a similar sort of golden orange glow to it to you. So if that means like Zeno pulls out his hammer at some point, it's got a glow to it.
Okay. I touch the painting on the wall, or like the carving.
Yeah. And that it feels different than anything else you've ever touched. There's a like certainty to it. There's something that feels like it gives you strength. There's something about it that just feels more real, like your eyes are opening at last. And like,
okay. I put my hand to my heart, touch my nose, and say, "Blessed be the hammer."
and you and everyone else in the room hears this sort of like bell ring, like of a hammer striking a bell.
Ding. Okay.
Yep, it's pretty loud in the confined space.
Whoa, what was that?
Well, do it again, Susan.
Okay, here it goes. Blessed be the hammer.
And yes, it happens again, and everyone hears the ringing noise.
But where's the ringing coming from?
Wow. Okay, so I'm trying to look if there's any windows or any doors we can reach.
So Suzanne, when you touch that hammer shape, you got a vision of a world outside of this space. That like maybe if you pass through the hammer shape, you would fall into it.
All right. I think we can push through here.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, I'm really excited because
touch this hammer
is like
with me.
this sign that the God of Hammer actually exists. So I'm like, okay, go. And I'm doing the same thing that Suzanne. So
yeah,
with all my
so
faith.
we do it.
And
I don't know if Zeno's joining you, but Manu's joining you.
Exactly. I also asked Zeno if that join us because if we three do at the same time, maybe will be another type of, I don't know, thing happening.
Uh-huh. Sure. I guess I'm along for the ride.
Okay, so
Okay.
when Manu touches or Elia touches it, and with him, like you feel this sense of solidity and certainty that passes through you. But when Zeno like comes with you too, like the wall just disappears, and now you're standing in this like street space, like maybe. And like the idea of him being the chosen one might be a real thing. Like his power, his potential is just sort of amp things up to a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
You see
Where
what
the
is
hell are we
happening
now?
here, Sino? I have always seen you as a guy that I will follow, but now I'm certain you are the chosen one.
He just
Chosen for
kneels
what?
down and it just says, "Blessed be the chosen one."
So I kneel and I touch my nose and Zeno's nose, and blessed be the chosen one.
Nose.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
The ringing noise happens, and it's louder, and it comes from Zeno. Like he is the bell that's being rung.
Oh.
Okay, so Zeno, tell us what to do.
I don't know what's happening.
But where
Yeah.
are we? Like, what does the street look like? Are there people?
That's a great question. Yeah, so like you guys tell me what you think is on this side, on this core world. Like, is it bleak? Is it like paradise? Like, what do we see here?
I think that we are seeing. I'm watching like it's like Berlin, but
Mhm.
we feel safe. I mean, we feel well. I feel safe. Like
Mhm.
this is like a good place. This is I don't know how to describe it, but it's I feel warm and I feel cold at the same time, and I feel like peaceful. And when I'm watching Suzanne and Zeno, I'm feeling comfortable, like a sensation that I have never felt before.
I think there's a group of people that are wearing like kind of robes or like maybe like religious clothing, and they stare at us and they're like they look like they've been waiting for us.
They're the Church of the Hammer.
Okay, so like it sounds to me like you've passed over into a core world that has a strong religion of the hammer, right? And people like they've heard that ring, and they stand shocked and they look, and like some of the holy figures are moving a little bit closer, but very slowly towards Zeno, right? Like he is the center of attention right now. Um,
Yes. So I'm watching these guys and I'm
yeah,
like really excited because those are the guys that also believe what I believe, you know.
right.
So I'm start to yell at them. He is the chosen one. I already see it. He is the chosen one. Come on, blessed be the hammer. Blessed be the hammer.
Oh, I love it. So there's this like crowd scene of like adultation and worship potentially going. What does Zeno think of all this?
I'm just sort of looking around, sort of confused.
Yeah,
Just sort
like
of,
like you were like possibly given the shape of your van. Like you just hope that the people you work for pay you on time, right? This isn't the sort of attention that you get. Um, and what you hear like down the street, you see this sort of vehicle. It doesn't have wheels per se, but it's sort of similar. It's sort of like moving over land without touching it. Think of like a hovercraft or a repulsor craft from Star Wars, and it's moving like kind of zigzag around some of the features of the street, like the lampposts and things. And it's got these people in this sort of like greenish uniform, and they've got glowing yellow like goggle eyes. And one of them brandishes this sort of weird purpley flaming sickle. And it looks like they're going to make an attempt on Zeno's life right here. Like they're going to just crash and burn him right to the ground. What are you doing as the crowd begins to scatter in fear?
Can we go back? Is there like the pixel wall behind us?
No, like as soon as like Zeno touched you, you left that space on the sitemap. I'm calling it the box. It's like an in-between space between that world and this world. So you're now firmly in the core world right now.
Zeno, take your hammer out. No, serious. I'm fucking serious. Take your hammer out. I'm sure it's gonna work. Come on, just do it.
I had the same idea. Yeah.
So is it on a belt or is it in a toolkit or what?
Yeah, I'd say it's in my tool belt, and I just
Okay, so you just pull out.
brandish it.
Do you brandish it like a carpenter, or do you brandish it like a warrior ready to use as a weapon?
I brandish it like an exorcist trying to cross.
And I just
Already
start
undead.
praying again. I do like the move.
Yeah,
and the
I'm
praying.
with the crowd right now. I'm like, blessed be the hammer, blessed be the hammer, blessed be the hammer.
Yeah, I'm like trying to rally the people so they won't move away. It's like, yeah, this is the moment you've been waiting for. You have to help us. I don't know. We can't hear you.
We can hear you.
What now?
Yes.
There are some people, some of the clerics and some of the people in the community who are rallying around you while the others have fled for their lives. Okay, so who rolled last?
I think I did.
Okay, so Nick will have you take the roll, except we're going to add 2 more dice. You're going to roll 6 dice for harm and net effects.
Okay.
So you should have 6 dice and 5 assignments.
Wow, that's good dices.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 assignments. So
Yep. So the goal to reveal the chase, and then the net effects and the harm.
All right. Goal 6, reveal 6, harm 6, and chase 6. And
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
it was a very good roll.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it was a good roll.
Net effects was 3.
okay. Perfect. Okay. So you get, let's see, you get a bite from net effects. You get looks like that was it maybe. Okay. So for the sake of using the net effects just so you can see it in action, I'm going to go to, you have that on your PC results and bytes tab, the bottom of the spreadsheet for your character bytes use.
Uh-huh.
So in this game, you can spend your bytes to do special effects, right? So I have a pool, you get a pool, and then you can spend them if it's appropriate.
Where is it? PC results and bytes. Okay.
Yeah. So on the
Yeah.
GM stuff tab, I can look and see where do I want to spend any bytes on an action, right? So what I think I'm going to do, because I think it's really appropriate here, is as you're brandishing your hammer symbol on the enemy. I'm going to spend all of my remaining bites on torrent, and this would be like in the Matrix where like an agent shows up, right?
Okay.
So basically, an agent of truth shows up there, and these guys are attacking you, and they're kind of like minions. A more powerful adversary appears, but from like behind the PCs. You just like what the PCs don't see, the audience would see is like one of the followers like goes into like this sort of fit. They're shaking, and then they turn into, there's like pixelation, and then they turn into this like larger purpley sort of jagged figure with a burning sickle. And so but we're going to go back to your results, right? Because you didn't take harm. Your net effects are 3, and this is probably where some of like the special effects budget goes into, especially. So the vehicle, the hover vehicle, comes into the crowd, and they begin sort of like sweeping wildly at people, and your power emanates out from it, right? And it's a little bit not in control because you've never done this before, but you hold firm behind it. And so this hammer like vibration effect goes out, and it sort of, I feel like repulses the craft, and it basically goes sliding off, glancing into some of the people, but hits into the side of like a sculpture in the area. So it's a little bit out of control. And then basically there's this, you feel like you've taken that, you've saved the day, and then you hear this sort of very deep bass sort of droning voice that says, let me get this over here. It says, "Mr. Blucher, I have an appointment with you now." And he like, takes his sickle and like points at your head with it. So what do the characters do in response to this?
I didn't I didn't get it. What did the hammer do? Did he like block the sickle or?
So the hammer craft and people on board there, but this agent of truth is behind you and is basically saying that he's gonna fight with you right now.
Okay.
Like he is here to slay the chosen one, Zeno.
Okay. I have one bite, right?
You have at least one bite, yes.
What can I do anything with just one or?
No, the PCs
No.
need even numbers, but there's other PCs in the group. You could potentially pool your resources together if you wanted to, if you want to collaborate on something.
Okay. Manu,
What
I
do you
would
want
like
to do,
to.
Susan?
Yeah, what do you
I'm
want to
not sure, like something cool, like I don't know, pull flaming hammers out of the air or something like that, like something awesome.
So are you saying that you want to have something available to you?
No, I want to do something like epic to defeat this guy, like kind of supernatural, or I don't know, like some special effects stuff.
Yeah. So
If you go to PC results and bytes, if I share with you my byte, well, it says like we can have an special clothing or a training or weapons or match the tone, and no. Okay, so well, I'm seeing that this is getting like kind of dangerous for the chosen one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is not good. This is not what I expected from the Church of the Hammer. So I'm staring at Suzanne, and I said like, I hold her hand and say like, don't worry, I'm with you. Let's face this fucker.
I think we just tackle him because we're not thinking about anything. We're just holding hands and we just charge into him.
We're like holding hands and I don't know, seeing each other in the eyes. So we are like, okay, for the chosen one, for the hammer. Okay, so let's go.
Before that happens,
and we are just like tackling. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I believe that Nick selected a revelation. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go through and pick one of those questions to be answered. Which one of those?
I don't know. I almost. Well, I feel like the second one is kind of resolved by me knowing I'm the Keanu Reeves of the story. So
Yeah.
I guess I'm left with why Elia and Suzanne are dating.
Well, I mean, it's almost like that gets answered to some extent on in the story because they work well together, right? Like they connect. But we're gonna have that be answered. So what number did you choose for that? Was it a 6?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get first say. So if you have an idea that works for them, you can just put that out there on the table.
I'm good with hearing their ideas first.
Okay. Why are you both dating?
Because
I want to hear that. Yeah, why are we dating?
This is important.
because when I was gonna say when my character sleeps like in the same bed with Elia, it's the only time she has normal dreams and she doesn't dream just about this weird hammer like all night long. But I don't know if that makes sense because the hammer is supposed to be like the more real thing or like the reality. So I don't know.
Well, so like you can each have a reason for why you're dating the other. It doesn't have to be the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Elia could have a very different reason. Like he thinks you're hot or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Like it can be very deep or very shallow for why you're in a relationship with someone.
Yeah, of course. Well, of course, I think that she is really hot. That is the main focus. But I also think that she shares a lot of things with me, especially the hammer thing, the love for that religion, and the thought that there's a God, because we both are pretty religious. I mean, I'm more religious than her, than she, but I think that that's the main reason, because I know that if something happened with the hammer church, or if we discover something about the hammer, she's gonna be with me, and she's gonna support me in everything that I'm doing.
Does that work for everyone?
Sure.
Yeah, also my cat likes him.
Okay. Well, there you go. That seals the deal.
That's the
My
most
Chihuahua.
important thing.
My Chihuahua
Yes.
likes you too.
We can't hear
I
you.
don't hear you.
Why does your mic keep
Hello?
turning
Hello?
off?
I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going on. This is
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's the Agents of Truth! No!
So since we're basically out of time here, here's what I think will work here. So we'll assume that we leave this on a cliffhanger where you charge forth to attack the Agent of Truth. You know, completely like you have no weapon except your relationship, which might be great. And then we see Nick's character, turning around with the hammer to face you, and then we like cut it right there, right? We don't know how this turns out. So I think Nick got the most questions answered. So what we're going to do very quickly is go down to the intersect level on your character keeper, and there's some key words in there, and he gets first say on which one of those he wants to pick, like lost or trapped or turning the tables or whatever, and then he gets to narrate a short sort of vignette either next, like immediately, or sometime in the future or whatever, and then we'll go to whoever has the other questions resolved too. So we'll give each one of you a chance to do that, but Nick gets to go first since he had more questions answered.
All right. I choose sacrificing myself.
Okay, so what does that look like?
I'm going to charge forward at the sickle guy with my hammer and yelling and throw myself at him.
So this is immediately.
Mhm.
Like if we had like the next episode or movie or whatever, we see you immediately doing this. That's awesome. And then for Manu or Weibo, what are you choosing for your site map or your intersect?
Wait, but so this situation would be like Manu and me try to just throw ourselves against this guy, although we don't have anything, and it just doesn't work. We just like bump into him, and then we just fall. And after that, he would like Zeno would do his thing and attack him and sacrifice himself. So that would be the situation, right?
It could be. You're going to pick one of those words down there in the intersect area and then narrate something related to it. So it doesn't have to be right now. It can be. It could be years in the future, right? It's just sort of like a guiding word, like on a quest. Maybe in the future you're doing something. But if you want it to be like right now, like maybe you're trapped or something, like maybe you're taken hostage after he was sacrificed, or, you know, it's pretty open.
Yeah, so I think we charge at this guy and we run through him and we end up in the box room, like in the basement room.
Oh.
But we just can't get out this time.
Oh my gosh, so trapped.
Yes, trapped, yes,
Awesome.
trapped.
And Manu, what are you thinking for your character?
Okay, so as we are trapped in this box with Weibo, I'm starting to look like the carving things that we saw on the walls,
Mhm.
and I'm asking myself, because on the wall that we were, there was the hammer, and in this world there's the hammer and the sickle. So I want to know more about the sickle. So I'm gonna be on a quest for the sickle god.
Perfect.
But the sickle god is evil!
Well, like if the hammer represents like the reality, right? So maybe the
Yeah.
sickle represents the falseness.
False
Right?
god!
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's the
Destroy
false,
the false god!
or maybe it's like a double. I don't know, like double thing, and the sickle god is the actual god. I mean, that is my quest.
It might. Yeah. That's awesome. That's great. So that's where we see like the end of our episode of NetWhere. And I'd like to say thank you to you all. Really enjoyed meeting you and playing with you on this event with NetWhere for the Gauntlet Community Open Gaming. And if you want to reach us, go to the Gauntlet website. If you want to follow any of us, you can find us. Thank you so very much, and I hope you have a great rest of the weekend and week. And take care. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Thanks to you guys.
Thanks.
It was awesome to play with you.